Aloha everyone, my name is Daniel Baronin, student at the University of California, Santa Barbara and retail specialist, and welcome back to yet another retail case study. Now this is surprising. 2 videos in 1 month? 2 lectures in 1 month? Well, that took me by surprise as well. But let me explain why. So, I've decided to come up with a new series called Concepts of the Future. And in this series, it will cover some store formats or prototypes by various companies. Well, I'll mention right now Kmart Corporation, Sears Roebuck and Company, and Sears Holdings Corporation that were introduced and are unique because they never really got off the ground. They succeeded for a little bit and then the companies completely canned them. So in this 3-part series, I'll be going over just that with 3 companies that I have selected, which I will go over shortly in a bit. So with this 3-part series, I'm glad to say that a new video has been released and has been composed. So the first part of this series that we're going to go over is Green Kmart. If you never heard of it, that's completely fine, but we'll go over it. Green Kmart is a store prototype that was introduced and we'll see about their history. So here we go. Table of contents for this video. Introduction to our case study. Green Kmart. What is it? The rollout of the prototype in 5 stores after their 2002 bankruptcy. Images of the stores. The ditch of their prototype for other remodel formats. Their respective images, image citations, and the overall closure of these Green Kmart stores, and ultimately the conclusion. So the introduction to the case study. As I previously mentioned, for the next 3 videos, including this one, I will be presenting a new series I have made, Concepts of the Future. During this series, we'll be going over concepts/store prototypes from Kmart Corporation, Sears Roebuck & Co., and Sears Holdings Corporation that have been swept under the rug. For the first video, we'll be going over a creative Kmart prototype that never got off the ground, Green Kmart. With a unique design and a way to welcome back customers after the bankruptcy, we overview its history and ultimate demise at the end. Green Kmart. And this store is one of the ones that we'll be talking about today, which is the Peoria, Illinois Kmart. It's very unique. You know what? The reason why I selected this backdrop is look at the people on the side. Don't they look so happy? The person on the very left is like, green Kmart, and she's kind of bending her head. Then you got the dog, you got all of those people. So this facade I find very unique. It's a former Venture department store. And also it's just a really unique store as well. But we'll be going over these stores overall and Green Kmart. So you guys were all accustomed to the Kmart, the big Kmart, Super Kmart Center logos, the one with the white script in the middle, or just the regular Kmart modern logo with the Mart at the bottom and the K, red K on top. But Green Kmart is interesting both in its design and its logo. And you guys maybe don't know about this design, but we're going to go over it. So what is Green Kmart? After Kmart Corporation's Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing in January 2002, January 22nd to be specific, the company realized they needed to make drastic changes in order to stay in the retail competition against Walmart Corporation, Target Corporation, and others as well. With Charles Conway, or Chuck Conway, out as CEO and James B. Adamson as the new chairman and CEO, management alongside store reorganization was underway. In late 2002, a new store design alongside a logo was introduced to the public, a lime green Kmart. This new updated store surprised many customers and the public when it was introduced. With brighter lighting, wider aisles, and a different floor plan that stores were accustomed to, Kmart was committed to this new prototype. Moreover, Kmart installed a new software system to create a smoother logistical system and remodeled other stores to lure customers back in. Of course, during a bankruptcy filing, we have the company close almost 300 to 400 stores, lay off a couple thousand people, and so on and so forth because they need more money and they wanted to ultimately deplete all of their expenses in order to become profitable, hopefully, right? So we saw that. But during the bankruptcy filing, Kmart ultimately introduced this new prototype and it stuck with the company until all of the stores closed. So it was a big deal. and it still is a big deal in a minor aspect when people discuss about the store format. Rollout of the green prototype in 5 stores after 2002 bankruptcy. So as a result of the green prototype, the first store that Kmart remodeled ultimately was the one in White Lake, Michigan. This store was remodeled in late 2002 with the idea in mind in March 2002. So Kmart went ahead and remodeled 5 existing stores, with one in Michigan, the White Lake one, and the rest in Illinois, which were in Peoria, Pekin, Morden, and Washington, to adhere to this new remodeling plan. The design is unique due to the color, exterior logo, and I'll talk about that in a moment, and displays in the store. In the next slide, it showcases all 5 different stores, their unique designs, and what could have been with other Kmart locations. So here are the images of these green Kmart stores. The thing that I was going to get back to was the unique design. And with these Kmarts, as you notice, you see that the K, right, has the Mart sort of in the right side. So basically, the first half of the K is gray, and the second half of the K is neon green. Not neon green, but lime green. And the script, the Mart script, is on the top right-hand corner. Of course, with the red Kmart, the script ran from the bottom left to the top right, but this one is just the middle to the top right. And as you could just see, it's just a very fascinating logo that Kmart that came out with. Alongside this new logo, we had the city that the Kmart was located in on the left-hand side or at the bottom of the logo. And I find this interesting because there's not a lot of stores that do that. They have their logo and that's it, but they had their city right next to it. And in this turn, this is due to Kmart trying to lure back in customers and then being a city store, right? Saying that, oh, you know, this store might care for us because it has the location name, the city name right next to it, and they go inside and they get a home feel. Because during this time period, Kmart had a slogan. They had a slogan, sorry, Kmart Forever, in which people reignited their passion for Kmart, trying to drive them back in after the bankruptcy, right? So public relations had a really good idea. But all of these stores are unique. All of the 5 stores are displayed here. Most of them are similar, and some of them look better than others. In my opinion, I think the White Lake store looks the best, the Peoria second, and then the other ones were just big Kmart remodels that occurred, and then they just took off the logo, put the green K, and then they closed with the same facade. And then on the bottom right-hand corner, we have an interior view of one of the green Kmart stores, and we see that the signs are not red, of course, they're green. And with the green one, they had a modernistic look to ensure that these Kmart stores look pretty nice. In my opinion, I think the interior looks great. If you look on Flickr.com, they have a lot of images of these specific signs and what they went through. So compared to big Kmart with the same format, these stores look very unique and very nice. So this slide is for you guys to look at and explore outwards through Flickr.com or other websites as well. And here are my image citations, just in case for the images that were mentioned in the previous slide. So after discussing what the green Kmarts look like, Kmart soon ditched these prototype stores, or they didn't install any more stores. Although Kmart showcased a unique design and rolled out different ideas to make their green stores appealing, it was soon canned as a prototype. In the mid-2000s, shortly after Kmart emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy as Sears Holdings Corporation, Kmart tested out different store prototypes and designs that ultimately became the foundation of their other stores. While all stores did not receive remodeling due to them closing or the company not fully focusing their attention on them, there were some unique designs that came out from this thing. And there were different designs that I noticed when I went to different Kmart stores. I've been to over 5 in the Southern California region, and I've seen different remodels and different prototype of stores. And the ones that I essentially put together is the orange and brown one. The orange and brown one is the absolute most common one. My local Kmart went through it, and I think hundreds of others went through it as well, with the new modern logo with the Mart at the bottom and the K on top, or there's the big K and then the Mart on the right hand side. The playground one, which we're going to go over in a bit, but I've seen one store with it. It's yellow, blue, red, white, all different types of colors inside the stores. The modern look with the regular red signs, and the after Sears Essential remodel. Sears Essential is going to be the next video in the three-part series. It's this one, Green Kmart, Sears Essentials, and Sears Grand. But Sears Essential basically was a Sears to Kmart remodel, and there's one store here that used to be a Sears Essential we'll be going over, but it gave them a really modern look because they try to remodel it back to Kmart. In the next slide, it showcases different variants of these remodels. So here we have it. These are different images. So the one on the top left-hand corner is a store in Elmhurst, Illinois. And if you guys didn't figure this out already, Sears Holdings Corporation is based in, or Transform Corp is built in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. So a lot of the stores in Illinois received a lot of remodels or prototypes so that people around that area could get a different feel. So the one in Elmhurst was a Sears Essential store. It used to be Kmart, then Sears Essential, then back to Kmart. And this one was very modern, very new, but they ultimately closed it, of course. And this is the modern look. The one on the middle is the Los Angeles, California store, my local Kmart store. And this store went through the orange-brown one and ultimately went through the modern look. The one on the top right-hand corner is the one in West Palm Beach, Florida. This is a brown and orange and brown store that a lot of stores went through, and the one in the North Hollywood one and the Los Angeles one were both modern stores, from big Kmart to orange and brown to modern. And the one in West Orange, New Jersey, it soon became a vaccination site for COVID-19, but this is the colorful one that I was mentioning, the yellow, the orange, the blue, the white, all of these different colors. It gave like a little playground feel in the store, and it really bumped up how the store looked like instead of a ordinary big Kmart store. And this is one of the unique ones that I personally like, but these are just overall images of what Kmart remodels look like and what other store formats look like overall. And here are my image citations from the last slide. And the ultimate demise, right? During the 2010s, all the green Kmart stores soon started to close as Sears Holdings Corporation was starting to bleed out money. The first green Kmart store that closed was the location in Washington, Illinois in 2011. In 2014, the White Lake Township and Peoria stores closed by the end of the year. By 2016, the last two green prototype Kmart stores have closed in Morton, Topeka. So in a span of 14 years, all the Kmart stores closed, with the majority of them, or all of them essentially, closing between 2010 to 2016. In 2022, with 9 stores left worldwide, all Kmart stores have the modern logo with a modern style in the interior of the store. The last big Kmart store closed in Michigan. And I kind of jinxed the video because I made a video of how the big Kmart format was not really a success with the company. And I said, oh, the last one that has the logo is in Michigan. Well, the format's dead. And it was, because soon after the video came out, the store announced it was closing. So all of the stores with 3 in the United States, 4 in Virgin Islands, 1 in Puerto Rico, and 1 in Guam, the most successful store, they all have modern interiors and modern exteriors. Well, modern in a sense, but compared to the other formats, yes. And our conclusion, with a sad facade of the Kmart store, and the faces are still standing, but the logo is gone, implementing of how it was essentially gone with the wind. Conclusion. After filing for bankruptcy, Kmart needed a breath of new fresh breath air. Including in this air was a new store prototype, a lime green Kmart. Through customer responses, Kmart developed a prototype that was set to be the future of the company. As it was advanced for its time, things started to get promising and interesting. However, things fell through in a matter of years. As a result of the retail competition dominating Kmart Corporation and Sears Holdings Corporation forming after Kmart purchased Sears, the concept of the future simply did not catch on. As 5 unique stores out of hundreds, the green Kmart store simply was a store different from the rest of the red stores. By 2010s, as the company started to trend downhill, the green Kmart stores closed and disappeared, only to be remembered by its facade. However, as a result of how unique it was despite their troubles, the store format will be cherished forever as a part of the interesting history of Kmart Corporation. That brings us to thanking you guys. So this video was interesting to make, and the series overall was a great inspiration to see what different alternatives of videos I can make. And as the green Kmart or the Sears Grand or the Sears Essential are not talked about much, but the company overall has talked, with these mentioned only 5 or 10 seconds or maybe a little more, it's great to develop a video or just overall look of how these formats used to be. So thank you guys for watching this video. Green Kmart is a very unique store, and hopefully you could get something out of it. So see you guys for part 2 in Sears Essentials, and until then, stay well. Bye-bye.